Tonight, Ohio Republican leaders are calling for Ohio's top attorney to step down after a scathing report reveals sordid details of sexual harassment and an affair within the Attorney General's office.
The investigation began after two subordinates accused one of Mark Dann's top aides of making unwanted come-ons. Two of Dann's top aides were fired. Anthony Gutierrez, Director of General Services, and Chief Spokesperson Leo Jennings. Those men shared a condo with Dann. And then the Attorney General dropped one more bombshell. He has been having an affair with still another subordinate.
I was not as well prepared for the office as I should have been, and I am heartbroken by that.
Addressing questionable hiring practices and admitting he never even thought he'd be elected, a contrite Attorney General Mark Dann finds himself not in the middle of one firestorm, but several. First, the sexual harassment charges leveled against his aide and friend, Anthony Gutierrez.
Anthony Gutierrez did create a hostile work environment. There was sexual harassment.
Executive Assistant to the Attorney General, Ben Espy, leaving no doubt after completing the investigation that documents Gutierrez's consistent attempts to come on to subordinates Cindy Stankoski and Vanessa Stout, once telling Stankoski her hot body got her hired. Among the incidents, an invitation to a drunk Stankoski to the apartment Gutierrez shared with Dann, ending up on a bed where she says she woke up with pants unbuttoned and Gutierrez beside her. Stankoski says Gutierrez said he wanted to have sex with her but knew it was wrong. Gutierrez reportedly used sexually charged words with Stankoski on several occasions. Vanessa Stout reported a sex toy Gutierrez once bought her as a gag, later asking her if she'd used it, saying he wanted to see her use it. Gutierrez and Communications Director Leo Jennings, accused of attempting to persuade an Assistant Attorney General to lie under oath, were terminated. Policy Chief Edgar Simpson resigned last night under pressure for failing to respond to the harassment charges. Damaging enough as this investigation is, it did not end there. The Attorney General admitting to his own relationship with a subordinate in the office. Former aide Jessica Udovich has resigned without explanation. Dann made a heartfelt public apology to his wife, Alyssa, and 3 children, calling that punishment enough and refusing to consider resignation.
You said in your statement you were taking full responsibility. So why are you staying on the job?
Because I was elected by the people of the state of Ohio. We have done great legal work in this office.
Governor Strickland, stopping short of asking for Dann's resignation, says regaining public trust will be a difficult challenge. But even those inside the AG's office say change is coming.
You're probably going to see a complete realignment of the office in terms of responsibilities.
And as you might expect, initial political backlash is most severe from Republicans. However, Democratic Governor Ted Strickland did weigh in, suggesting an unbiased outside investigation is needed. He also told the Associated Press that Dann's decision to remain in office is, quote, a double standard. David Wayne has more on that.
As headlines of the Attorney General's affair and office shakeup involving top aides emerged, Governor Ted Strickland stopped short of calling for Mark Dann's resignation.
What I do know is very disappointing. What I do know causes me to feel anger. But I feel like I need to know more.
Across the party divide, swift reaction from Republicans who didn't mince words. State Senator David Goodman, himself a former state assistant attorney general, calling Dann's actions inexcusable.
I am sending this letter asking for Mark Dann to resign his office immediately.
The Ohio Republican Party was more direct in demanding Dann step down, saying in part he turned the Attorney General's office into a raunchy frat pad, lied to the press, and lied to his own investigator. Well, Mark Dann has made it clear he doesn't plan to resign. A majority of visitors to our website say that he should in our non-scientific poll. More than 2,000 people have responded. Of those, more than 8 in 10 say Dann should step down.